Hello, welcome to the show. I am Jacob Davison. I'm a legal layman and I'm in North Texas. And this is a show where I try to learn the law and educate while I learn. Just gotta make sure everything's alright before we do anything else. I am very much 10 minutes late. That is on me. I'm late and gay, as always. I have to repost my links to the locals. And hopefully, I'll get to see something very cool today. Where is it? It's not you. Hmm. All right. Uh, all right. I have sent out the link to anyone else. I'm not very interested in that. Uh-oh. YouTube. So before I do anything else, really, I want to say that I've got in the background the Ken Paxton impeachment hearing because I found a link to that on Twitter. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to do something with that. Actually, let me tune in real quick, see how that's going. Uh, right. I haven't started this up yet. Reload. Hmm. No sounds. Testing, testing. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, I was a little quieter. Oh, I'll go back down. Oh god. Uh, Sorry, I'm trying to find it. Uh, all right. All right, I got the player up. We'll go back to that as soon as I'm done with the rest of the topics. Sorry, I just needed to find that. I know probably that was annoying. Alright, with that done, I'm going to be talking about Mizzy from the fucking... from TikTok. I found it to be very interesting. So the thing that got me interested in Mizzy from TikTok as a topic, here, I'll pull up the tweet that I responded to, and then I'll all right. So for the show topics today, TikTok arrested. This is Mizzy. Banko Brown. Wait. Banko Brown, who was killed for trying to steal from a Walgreens. The family has sued the Walgreens and the bodyguard that killed them. Clarence Thomas once again getting harpooned in the mail or in the news by people, let's say. I'll save Paxton for last, but I'm going to talk about DeSantis. Paxton's got his impeachment hearing today. And from what I was hearing just before I started up the topics, there apparently is a hearing about, hey, let's maybe get some evidence under oath. Can we, like, hold off on that without, like, you know, hurting the process? And he's like, someone else like, yeah, I think so. We might be able to do that. It'd be better to have statements under oath than not to have that. And then DeSantis has comments about the January 6 people, which I'm very interested to get to. So, with all that said, let's get to the show. And I'm going to talk about Mizzy. So the tweet that spawned my initial interest in this was, or the tweet that got my initial interest in the Mizzy topic. Mizzy has apparently been arrested for breach of court order by posting new videos online. Gonna unmute this. Gonna share the audio. And here's the video.
Huh?
No, let's go.
Come on, let's go. I'm just going to explain the allegation to you, which is that you've uploaded 2 TikTok videos, or 2 Twitter videos, on 25th of May, after the initial video.
I almost don't think it's real now that I'm looking at it. Wait a minute. All right, so my skepticism is now being born. The supposed cop in the video is even wearing a fucking an evolution shirt. What the hell? But yeah. I almost think he didn't. I suddenly have a lot of questions about if he is even being arrested for posting videos like this. But apparently news outlets say that he has been. Here, I'll Mizzy talk. All right, so it seems like this is still true. Oh, wait. A TikTok prankster has been arrested less than 48 hours after he was fined for breaching a court order. On Wednesday, Bakari Bronze Ogaro, 18-year-old, also known as Mizzy, pleaded guilty to breaching a community protection notice at Thames Magistrate Court after he walked into a stranger's property on May 15th. The teenager was ordered to pay £365, including an 80 pounds victim surcharge and a cost of 85 euros. He was also handed a 2-year criminal behavior order. On Friday morning, a Metropolitan Police spokesman said, on Friday, May 26, officers arrested an 18-year-old man on suspicion of breaching a criminal behavior order. He was taken into custody. Inquiries are ongoing. Wearing a green and yellow vest, black jogging bottoms, a video of the arrest was uploaded to Ogaro's Twitter account, showing him being detained by plainclothes officers on what appeared to be the roof of a building. Do they really have plainclothes officers in the UK? It's weird. On Wednesday, Judge Charlotte Krangle had ordered that Ogaro must not directly or indirectly post videos to social media without the documented consent of the people featured in the content, that he must not trespass into private property, and that he must not attend the Westfield Center in Stratford. However, on Thursday morning, Ogaro posted several videos, including one in which he rides an e-bike through the busy Sainsbury's supermarket. Yeah. He enters the warehouse at the back of the store before security guards ask him to leave. As he exits the shop, he narrowly avoids a woman in a pram with a pram. In another clip on Thursday, he's seen clinging to the top of a single-decker bus. In a separate video explaining his actions, Ogaro appears to claim that the latest videos are all old and were filmed months before. However, the terms of his court orders suggest that uploading the clips without the consent of the people in the video would be a breach regardless of when they were filmed. Just minutes after leaving court on Wednesday, Ogaro posted a video saying, "Hello world, I'm back and I'm taking over this." During a Talk TV interview with Piers Morgan carried out hours after his court appearance, Ogaro was accused of by the broadcaster playing the race card. Why would I care what your skin is? I just think you're an idiot. Piers blasts, yeah, that's supposed to be a video link. When a girl was asked about his background, he responded, "Are you trying to get on to me because I'm black?" Morgan replied, "I don't give a damn about your skin color. I just think you're an idiot." So the specific court orders seem to be this. Yeah. So this whole thing is the court order. And I mean, I originally thought it was going to be like, thought it was like, hey, you can't post videos. I'm like, well, that's not good. That's not good at all. What? You're suppressing his speech because what? The only thing I think I agree with this is the whole must not enter private property. Also, if Westfield Center, which is a shopping mall sort of thing in the UK, if they filed a restraining order, I would agree with that as well, specifically. However, the whole can't post video without people's consent sort of thing, if he's recording in a public place, I would say he shouldn't need that. Because, like, they're in public. They kind of they don't expect that. Also, if this video was in fact posted to Mizzy's account, this in itself would be a violation of the court order, which is a problem. Because documenting someone being arrested is not a problem. So yeah, that's very interesting. I wonder how that's gonna how that's gonna turn out, because I have a little bit of a problem with the court basically issuing a gag order, as has been seen in my opinions, probably. I have had a huge problem with Alvin Bragg gag ordering fucking Trump. So yeah, there's that. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna tweak that out in just a moment. Yeah. Uh, fuck! I hate that. I hate that so much. Hey, Manhattan DA. Generous capacity. I'm probably gonna get slapped for that, but I don't care. But yeah. That's the Mizzy topic. I have a lot of problem with gag orders. And this isn't a gag order in practice, or at least in its terms, it's just basically like you can't do a video without consent of people. It must not trespass. And that's like the most reasonable portion. And then this, I presume it's trespassing on this one. They would put a restraining order. However, if the judge did this sua sponte, it's a little weird and a little concerning. Uh, all right. So that's an easy topic. I had to ask a particular group about the expertise of plainclothes arrests in the UK. Banko Brown death. Family sues Walgreens security company and guard for wrongful death. And I just want to say, I have seen the footage of the whole incident, and I have to say it's very, very... I have to say I do not want to be in the security guard's place, because if another prosecutor gets into the office and has a particular agenda, it doesn't look great. I've seen the footage. It looks like he shoots Banko Brown in the back. And that's not a good claim. And I don't think the place that they have that they're in allows for defense of property in such a way either. The family of Banko Brown, a transgender man shot and killed by a security guard in San Francisco last month, has filed a wrongful death lawsuit over the fatal encounter, their lawyer announced Friday. Brown's parents are suing Walgreens, where the fatal shooting took place, private security company Kingdom Protective Service, and the security guard Michael Earl Wayne Anthony. Michael Earl Wayne Anthony John Burris. Oh yeah, that's John Burris. The Browns' attorney told reporters that they're seeking at least $25 million in damages. This is a young man, probably actual woman. This is a young woman whose life was taken unnecessarily as a consequence of what the Walgreens did by putting in place policies that caused the security guards to think, for whatever reason, that he could shoot and kill person over petty theft, Burris said. I mean, it's probably a good thing that, you know, it's probably good to give the impression that you can't just steal, you will be punished maybe a little too firmly. The fatal shooting happened following a suspected shoplifting incident at a downtown Walgreens store. On April 27th, dramatic surveillance footage video shows a scuffle between Brown and the store's security guard. The killing and lack of criminal charges spurred protests in San Francisco, with demonstrators marching to demand justice for Brown amid a larger debate over criminal justice, viral smash and grab thefts, and homelessness in the city. Lawsuit claims Anthony shot and killed Mr. Brown at least in part because of his frustrations with people other than Mr. Brown shoplifting or committing petty theft crimes in his presence. At the news conference, Brown family attorney bin Nizenbaum said Brown was only responsible for potentially shoplifting the $16 of candy that apparently was in his bag. Her. Brown's parents attended the news conference but did not speak. Burris said they wanted the security guard to face murder charges. The filing states Anthony was following a new directive by the store and its security company to forcibly detain suspected shoplifters, and move the suit says changed long-standing security policies to avoid escalating confrontations with people suspected of minor property crimes and to potentially lethal force encounters. What's this long-standing policy bullshit? Like, I get it for federal agencies, but like, they're a private company. They can do whatever the fuck they want. Walgreens declined to comment on the lawsuit. But Kingdom Group Protective Services, which provided officers in the store, did not weigh in on the lawsuit specifically, but released a statement saying, "We're fully cooperating with law enforcement in the investigation of this extremely unfortunate incident and are deeply saddened by the loss of Banko Brown's life. At this time, we are not permitted to comment further." According to the lawsuit, defendant Anthony's killing of the unarmed Mr. Brown shocks the conscience. It was the rash and angry reaction of someone frustrated by the demands of his job, taking it out on Mr. Brown on the worst, most violent way possible. Gotta teach him a lesson, though. If they keep stealing and they keep stealing, and nothing is done, and then suddenly something harsh is done about stealing. You know, we used to chop thieves' hands off. That's what we used to do. Witnesses were interviewed by the district attorney, which decided not to file charges against Anthony. Said they heard Brown tell Anthony that, "I'll fight you on the sidewalk," the lawsuit says. No witnesses reported any threat by Mr. Brown to use any weapon, and Mr. Brown was unarmed, it added. Brown and Anthony continued to argue as Brown back towards the store's exit, and lawsuit says Mr. Brown paused, pointed with the right hand towards the defendant's Anthony's face, and momentarily flexed his chest towards Anthony, defendant Anthony, but did not touch him. Lawsuit continues. No one could reasonably believe Mr. Brown was trying to strike defendant Anthony. At the moment of the shooting, Anthony's life was not in danger. He said the security officer could have walked away or de-escalated the situation, the attorney added. Brown repeatedly threatened to stab Anthony before the shooting, according to the reports from the DA's office released last week. Police didn't find a knife in Brown's person, the report states, but prosecutors still determined his fear was reasonable. Given the totality of the circumstances, including the threat that Anthony believed and could reasonably believe, the evidence shows that Brown's shooting was not a criminal act because Anthony acted in lawful self-defense, the report states. Thus, Anthony is not criminally liable for the death of Brown. The reports also mentioned the policy change for the security guard, saying it was recently initiated by the security company. On April 27, 2023, the instruction to guard God damn. The instructions to guard personnel was to engage in hands-on recovery of merchandise. The report states the guard were also allowed to request receipt for merchandise. But in any event, they were to actively work to retrieve or recover any stolen items once it was clear that the individual who concealed the items intended to leave the store without paying. It's not bad. I think I agree with it. CNN has not heard back from Anthony. It is unclear if he has retained an attorney. San Francisco has been a marked exodus of middle-class residents since COVID-19, and a series of brazen property crimes and rampant public drug use has created a sense of disorder, as CNN explored in the recent special What Happened to San Francisco? One such incident was a daytime theft at Walgreens store in 2021, captured on video, in which a suspect casually grabs items from shelves, tossed into a black bag, and left the store, brushing past the store security guard and several onlookers. Walgreens said at the time this is blatant retail theft, was an ongoing problem in its stores, although the company executive said earlier this year Maybe we cry too much about the issue. As part of the backlash, the progressive prosecutor Chase Bowden was recalled by a 55% vote. Last year's San Francisco District Attorney Brooke Jennings was appointed to replace him and pledged to restore accountability and consequences to our criminal justice system, saying this was a moment to take back our streets. She's not charged. And Anthony saying that last week he acted in self-defense. The California Attorney General Office said this week that it'll review the decision not to charge the attorney, or not charge Anthony. We confirm that our office has agreed to review whether the San Francisco District Attorney's decision not to file charges was an abuse of discretion, the Attorney General Office told CNN on Tuesday in a statement. So they may or may not be charging him. This should be interesting. All right, that's the Banko thing, because all this was basically already testified to, or there's already some coverage of it. So, the fuckers over at Vox have an opinion. Let's go see what they have to say. Clarence Thomas' newest opinion would literally bring back child labor. Just want to some Supreme Court justice just want to watch the world burn. Ah, we know where this is going. On Thursday, the Supreme Court imposed strict new limits on the Clean Water Act. The court's decision in Sackett v. EPA is likely to do serious harm to the government's ability to quell water pollution, including the majority of waterways such as Mississippi River and the Chesapeake Bay. Clarence Thomas's new opinion would literally bring back child labor. Are you sure about that? Alright, I guess I'll look up Clarence Thomas. Alito delivered the opinion of the court in which Roberts, Thomas, Gorsuch, and Barrett joined. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Filed an opinion concurring in the judgment. Oh, so... Wait, this is a unanimous verdict? I guess I'll look on Oyas really quickly. Oyas... EPA. Second VEPA 2023 ruling. Oh, shit. Yep. Oh, fuck. Hey, I'll be right back. I gotta be right back. I lived. I lived. I'm not dead. Hello, welcome back. Shit you not, man. Shit you not. I made some old tea. That's fine. On Thursday, the Supreme Court imposed strict new limits on the Clean Water Act. The court decision is likely to do serious harm to the government's ability to control water pollution. Okay. Meanwhile, Clarence Thomas wrote in a concurring opinion that would so severely limit Congress's power to legislate that he might as well have taken several volumes of the United States Code and lit them on fire. Oh. To be clear, a concurring opinion is not the law. It merely reflects the views of the justices who sign on to it. And those particular opinions is unlikely to garner 5 votes to become law unless the court's membership changes drastically. But that does not change the fact that Thomas and Gorsuch, who joined in his opinion, is one of only 9 justices, and their views tend to shape the ideas of lawyers and judges throughout the legal realm. And let us see what Clarence Thomas said. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh. So 28 pages. The 27 pages. Yeah, 27 pages. And I guess I'll just use this. Federal ban on child labor is constitutional. Child labor. Join the court's opinion in full. Clean Water Act. Plurality opinion. It also correctly holds that the wetland to fall within the defined definition. It must share a continuous surface connection to bodies that are waters of the U.S. in their own right, and that there is no clear demarcation between waters and wetlands. However, like in Rapinoe's plurality before it, the court focuses on the terms waters, does not determine that federal ban. The CWA's jurisdictional court leaves off. Jurisdictional terms that have a long pedigree and are bound up by Congress's traditional authority over the channels of interstate commerce. That traditional authority was limited in 2 ways. First, So is minimum wage, federal laws protecting the right to unionize, bans on workplace discrimination, and nearly all the other regulations of the workplace. Thomas's approach endangers countless laws governing private businesses, from rules requiring health insurance to cover people with pre-existing condition to ban on whites-only lunch counters, and even that is underselling just how much law would be snuffed out of Thomas's approach to cold. I mean, it's kind of sounded pretty based, not gonna lie. The Thomas had said similar things in the past. So the whole concurrence. His opinion in Sackett is one of the most nihilistic opinions written by any federal judge in the last 9 decades. This opinion is particularly notable, moreover, because it is joined by Justice Neil Gorsuch. Gorsuch, who was appointed to the court in 2017, had not previously revealed just how far he's willing to go in sabotaging the U.S. government. It's not sabotaging, it's restoring the working order of the government. That means that there are now 2 justices on the Supreme Court for an act of judicial arson, like in any in U.S. history. Much of Thomas's opinions in an attack on what he calls the New Deal era conceptions of commerce power. Wait, fuck. Thomas argues that the court should return the narrow understanding of Congress's powers to regulate the national economy that it followed in Hammer v. Dagenhart, an infamous and long ago overruled decision striking down a law that prohibited goods produced by child labor from being sold in the U.S. markets. I mean, he's just basically admitting the reality of our world. We live in a world that we sell stuff based off of child labor. Does he say that in the opinion? New Deal. By permitting Congress to regulate any private interstate activity that substantially affects interstate commerce. Yeah, that's a problem. Allowing the feds to control what happens within a state because it may have an effect on the sales between states is a bad deal, either by itself or when aggregated with many similar activities. See Wickard v. Filburn. Wait, is that? Yeah, it is the weak case. That is the weak case. How did I fucking know that? Alright, so if you don't know, I'll give you a small breakdown of my understanding of Wickard v. Filburn. So, in California, or one of the states during a depression or a drought, there was a limit on the amount of wheat a farmer could have on their property to... Oh, wait. It was an overabundance of a farming product in the market. And so to prevent the costs or the market value of wheat from going through the floor, to like pennies, the government itself just established a restriction on how much wheat you can possess for sale. And a guy, I can't remember his name is Wickard or if it's the Filburn, he decided he's going to establish a bunch of wheat that he's going to sell for the market and a bunch of wheat that he's going to keep for himself so he doesn't have to go buy the wheat when he wants it. The government saw this and gave him problems. They either had him destroy the wheat or they took the wheat that that was excess, despite him saying, hey, I'm not going to sell this. This is for me. And they applied a thing called the Dormant Commerce Clause to basically regulate his ability to keep wheat for himself. This act established the Dormant Commerce Clause. Basically, they said, yeah, this will affect the market because you won't buy into the market because of this. Therefore, we have the power to regulate your ability to farm for yourself under the Commerce Clause. And if you ask where it is, they're like, it's dormant. It's somewhere in the back. It's somewhere right there. And that is Wicked v. Vilburn. I gotta give thanks to Ricada for giving me information that helped me today. United States v. Darby. Let's take a quick look at this one. Fair Labor Standard Act. Oh, and if you're worried about the live thing for the Paxton impeachment, it's like it started at 1 and I don't think it's going to end for a while. Yet this expansion did not fundamentally change the court's understanding that the term navigable waters refer to waters used in for interstate commerce. Thus, in Appalachia Electronic, the court continued to apply the concept of navigability to determine the scope of Congress's Commerce Clause authority to require license under the Federal Water Act to the construction of hydroelectric dams in a navigable water. Only after applying the Daniel Ball definition to determine that the river in question was navigable did the court hold that Congress had plenary authority over the erection of the structures in the river, regardless of whether the structure actually impeded navigability. Well, that sounds retarded. Then he goes further that the primary thrust of his opinion is that the federal government's authority over the channels of interstate commerce, roadways, waterways, railroads, and other such infrastructures where people can get goods can travel across state lines is limited only to the power to keep them open and free from any obstruction to their navigation. Taken seriously, this approach could get much of the rest of the Clean Water Act and allow a chemical company to dump countless tons of deadly poisons into the Mississippi River, so long as the poison did not prevent ships from traveling along the river. Well, if the authority to act under such powers is only... If the Constitution only limits the power of Congress to do that, then they should only be able to control that. It's worth emphasizing, for at least for the moment, that only 2 of the Supreme Court's 9 members have signed onto this plan. There's probably little risk that Thomas and Gorsuch will get their way anytime soon, although it is worth emphasizing that former President Donald Trump got to appoint 3 Supreme Court justices during a single term in office, so the court's center of gravity can lurch sharply to the right in a very short period of time. But the fact remains that 2 of the most powerful people in the country, de facto philosopher kings, who serve for life and who cannot be removed from office except by impeachment, have so little regard for the people of the United States that they would wipe away many of the foundation of our modern societies and scoff at the consequences. I don't know. Ian Millhiser. I'm gonna do this real quick. Ian Millhiser. That's court's decision or what? I mean, kind of right. Here, I'll share this. Control things. Then a state has gone too far, and too many feds have power in many states that are undue. I mean, look at Wickard v. Filburn. It's not popular, but it's the hard choice of constitutional purism. Constitutional purity? Yeah. I mean, the solution is to enact these basic law and orders within the states themselves and not let Congress act like everyone's parents. They are far too retarded to be trusted with that kind of power. Alright, so back to the Vox. I don't know, I'm kind of done with it. It's basically just Clarence Thomas is bad policy. He's gonna take us back 200,000 years. Which overruled Hammer, the court's child labor decision cannot be reconciled with the conclusion, which we have reached, that the power of Congress under the Commerce Clause is plenary to exclude any article from interstate commerce, subject only to the specific prohibitions of the Constitution. In other words, Congress is allowed to ban any products from interstate commerce, and that includes any product that is produced using exploitative labor practices. Anything on the Wickard v. Filburn? But this is a rag anyway. Who cares? Before I move on to the next topic, I'm going to share with you guys a secret. And that secret is the Dragon's Treasure, a haven for anime and tea lovers. Though it's probably going to have to add something to that tea lover portion later, because Dragon's Treasure now has coffee. And if you like coffee, if you like tea, and if you like the Dragon's Treasure, use code Layman at checkout for 10% off your purchases on everything in the store. From the coffee to the tea of the month to the memberships to the tea wares itself. You can get 10% off of all purchases, and I promise you will not regret it because it tastes fantastic. I have been drinking the tea for a couple months now, and I enjoy it greatly. The problem with the tea that I have had today is that I've left it in the steeper portion of the automatic kettle for like a couple days, and I'm lazy, and I'm running out of leaves. I need to buy again, and kind of tastes a little funky, but I can live with it. It's also hot right now, so that's the problem. Gotta wait for it to cool down. Wait for the tea to cool down. I know it shows it's like spewing fire right here, but you cannot drink fire. You cannot drink hot. It's bad. So the tea is good. But remember, use code Layman at checkout for 10% off your purchases for fantastic savings with fantastic tasting tea and coffee now. I did pre-order the Dio coffee, so I'm planning on drinking that whenever I go to stream. He'll probably be my coffee producer from here on out. Or my coffee guy. But yeah. Code Layman for 10% off. And we're done with this Fox bullshit. Alright, let's go to DeSantis. Before we go to Paxton. Oh my god, it's loading. Load faster. Load quicker. Ron DeSantis' news live. Donald Trump Jr. shares AI doctor clip of Cole. That's not what I asked. That's not the article in which I was looking for. Uh Since the 2024 campaign got off to a shaky start on Wednesday evening when its much derided Twitter Space launch, Mr. DeSantis has been doing the rounds on right-wing media outlets and reminding voters of his record in Florida and taking the occasional dig at his chief rival, former President Donald Trump. In one interview, he said that if he's elected to president, he would consider pardons for those charged with charged with January 6th Capitol riot offenses. And when pressed as to whether that would include Mr. Trump, he said the measure would include everyone. His remark was criticized not just by Democrats, but also sharply rebuked by former Republican Liz Cheney, who tweeted, "Any candidate who says they would pardon January 6th defendants is not qualified to be president." Trump spokeswoman appears to mock Pete Buttigieg's military services over the Memorial Day weekend. And to respect, okay. But yeah, it's a good stance. It's not bad. I mean, to pardon the people who are not actually done anything wrong, but was just there, basically wrong place, wrong time sort of thing, that's worthwhile. And even Trump said, like, hey, I gotta look into it. Not everybody there is worthy of being pardoned, but everybody who should be pardoned, I will pardon. And that's a good stance. I cannot see why that would be a problem for anybody. That was a lot shorter of a topic than I thought. Texas General urges supporters to protest at Capitol ahead of impeachment vote. Kim Paxton called for protesters to be peacefully heard at the state's Capitol echoes. Similar requests for Donald Trump before January. Oh my God, they're comparing him to 6. Let's not just forget that the Democrats also called for a similar thing. Are they going to compare the Democrats to the Democrat legislatures that are going to... The Democrats also just called for people to be at the capital of the Texas state. Are they similarly involved in a January 6th style conspiracy attack against the Capitol? Fuck the Guardian. The Guardian. This is like 8 hours ago. Is that? No, it wasn't. Yes, debt ceiling. The Guardian. Kim Paxton. Fucking hell. New Texas attorney has urged his supporters to protest at the state capitol and his house. I love intellectualists. Wait a minute. Why is it? Alright, you know what? I'll do this. Hey, the Guardian. In your recent Paxton article, you suggest that Paxton's call for peaceful protests is similar to Jan 6 style call to action without any regard for the Democrats that have also called similar peaceful protest. Going to fix this? Nice bias, fuckers. Okay. Take up historic impeachment proceedings against him. The State House has set a Saturday vote to consider impeaching Paxton and suspending him from office over allegations of bribery, unfitness for office, and abuse of public trust. Just some of the accusations that have trailed at him for most of his 3 terms. Paxton, a 60-year-old Republican, decried the impeachment proceedings as political theater that will inflict lasting damage on the Texas House, adding his earlier claims that it was in an effort to disenfranchise the voters who returned him to office in November. I want to invite my fellow citizens and friends to peacefully come to let their voices be heard at the Capitol tomorrow, he said at a news conference without taking any questions. Exercise your right to petition your government. The request echoes former President Trump's blah, blah, blah. Yeah, of course they're going to call... Of course they're going to call the fucking... They're going to claim that the call of action just to protest at the government building is similar to that of what January 6th was. You know, despite the fact that Trump did not call for violent rioting. Because supporters of the Texas Capitol on the day when the governor was supposed to deliver Memorial Day address to lawmakers. If impeached, Paxton would be suspended from office immediately, and the Republican governor would appoint an interim replacement. The Republican-led committee spent months quietly investigating Paxton and recommending his impeachment. On Thursday, on 20 articles, Paxton said the charges are based on hearsay and gossip parroting throughout long disproven claims. As reported... Okay, so it's whatever. Oh, hey, this bitch again. Betsy Reed, once again. Is she even on Twitter? Betsy Reed. Yo, Betsy Reed. But notice when you talking about Paxton in your newest. In your U.S. article about calls of action to protest, you compare him to his calls to that of Trump's calls on January 6th, ignoring entirely that the Democrats, Texas, have made similar calls as well. Got a bias, bitch? There we go. It frustrates me. Why can't they be impartial? I know it's fucking journalism. Of course they're gonna have to be partial. Like, fucking hell. They claim these things like it's gonna actually... It frustrates me. So anyway, with that, we have the live hearing of the Paxton impeachment. Now, hopefully not late to. And so I will put us to that right away.
Governor of the House's action. The chair directs the Committee on General Investigating to prepare any further resolution required by the adoption of H.R. 2377.
Oh, as soon as I missed
The House
it.
will stand at ease for 15 minutes.
Ah, so. I got in just in time to watch as Paxton got impeached. All right, so House now voting on the impeachment resolution is approved with 121 yeas. It's 120 if you don't count in Speaker. That was fun. I tuned into that just as soon as they confirmed, yeah, he's getting impeached. Legal. Let's see here. Let's see here. 121 yay to 23 nays. I guess I will put this up for people to see then. Or, where's the show research? So they're taking a recess? Alright, so since Paxton's got this whole thing, I probably should, Oh, wait. House stands at ease. I'll keep the thing up. Ugh. Fuck. That was rough. Alright, separations of powers. Alright, here's what I'll do. Whenever I hear something again, I'm going to go back to it, and then we'll deal with that. And to impeachment. Lieutenant Governor. There shall also be a Lieutenant Governor who shall be chosen at every election by governor by the same voter. Lieutenant Governor, in the case of the temporary inability or temporary disqualification of the governor to serve, the impeachment of the governor, the absence of President pro tempore. The power of impeachment shall be vested in the House of Representatives. Trial of impeachment of certain officers by Senate. Impeachment of the governor, lieutenant, Governor, Lieutenant Governor, Attorney General, and Commissioner, Comptroller, and judges of the Supreme Court, Court of Appeals, and districts shall be tried by the state. Impartial trial by the Senate. Concurrence of 2/3 required when the Senate is sitting as a court of impeachment. The senators shall be on oath or affirmation impartially to try the party impeached, and no person shall be convicted without the concurrence of 2/3 of the senators present. The language of the provision, wait, judgment, yeah, that's correct. Judgment to remove and disqualify, punishment under other law permitted. Judgment in cases of impeachment shall extend only to removal from office and disqualification from holding any office of honor, trust, or profit under the state. A party convicted on impeachment shall be subject to indictment, trial, and punishment according to the law. The language of this provision is identical to the language of the official legislative measure that originally proposed. The provision digital image of the original text in the official enrolled measures can be found here. All officers against whom articles of impeachment may be preferred shall be suspended from the exercise of the duties of their offices during the pendency of such impeachment. The governor may make provisions to appoint to fill a vacancy occasioned by the suspension of an officer until the decision of the impeachment. Yeah. What article is this under? Article 15. Yes and no. Yeah, but the Paxton.
The question occurs on adoption of the resolution. This record vote required by the Constitution. The clerk ring the bell. Holmes objecting. Chair has done so ordered. The question occurs on adoption of the resolution. This record vote required by the Constitution. The clerk ring the bell. Should the speaker voting aye? Show Mr. Longoria voting aye. Mr. Murr voting aye. Show Mr.
I look forward to the. All right, so Paxton's statement after the fact. This is 3 minutes ago. I'm beyond grateful to have the support of millions of Texans who recognize that what we just witnessed is illegal, unethical, and profoundly unjust. I look forward to a quick resolution in this Texas Senate, where I have full confidence the process will be fair and just. There was parts in this where they were talking about how this could be fair, or how to, because apparently a lot of the things were not done under oath. Like, there's no chance of perjury being in play. It was just a bunch of statements. I will...
Mr. Dutton voting, present not voting. Have all members voted? There have been 121 ayes and 23 nays, 2 present not voting, 3 absent. The resolution is adopted. The chair directs the chief clerk to notify the governor of the House's action. The chair directs the Committee on General Investigating to prepare any further resolution.
So he says it's illegal and unethical. The ugly spectacle in the Texas House today confirmed the outrageous impeachment plot against me was never meant to be fair or just. It was a politically motivated sham from the beginning. My office made every effort to present evidence, testimony, and irrefutable facts that would have disproven the countless false statements and outright lies advanced by Speaker Dade Felon and the Murr Johnson panel who he appointed. Unfortunately, they refused to consider anything that would interfere with their desired result. They disregarded the law, ignored the facts, and demonstrated contempt for Texas voters. All right, let's go to... Impeachment by House of Representatives. The power of impeachment shall be vested in the House of Representatives. Court of Appeals. Right of accused. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall have a speedy public trial. Oh no, this is in the Bill of Rights section. Felon's coalition of Democrats and liberal Republicans is now in lockstep with Biden administration, the abortion industry, anti-gun zealots, and woke corporations. I mean, it might be unethical and unfounded, but as far as I've looked, I can't see it being illegal. Anyone mind pointing me to the law that indicates so? I've gone over the Texas Constitution for this. I'm not sure. Greatly appreciate it. There we go. He's immediately removed from his job today and will get his job back if he's not convicted. So. Find me and told I need a bio to get more followers. Okay, here it is. Never Trumper. Ah. So House stands at ease. They said it would be 15 minutes. I'll be streaming whenever they come back. I want to watch that. Jesus Christ. I just posted that like seconds ago. Well, minutes ago, but you know, that's whatever. But not provided in Constitution. I don't know. Well, of course. It says it right in the name. This doesn't help. I'm trying to find the law that would indicate that this hearing was illegally done. If I can, I'd be a full-throated support of Paxton in this case. I'm not saying he's wrong. I just don't know. Senate might be different. Can't take the two the two houses as the same, even if they have the same political breakup. Texas Governor Code, Government Code. All right. No removal for acts committed before election to office. An officer in this state may not be removed from office for an act the officer may have committed before the officer's election to office. A prohibition against removal from the office of an act of the officer commits before Alright, causes for removal. Any individual may be removed from office by address for willful neglect of duty, incompetence, habitual drunkenness. That's probably what he wanted to get at Dade for. Oppression in office, breach of trust, or any other reasonable cause that is not sufficient ground for impeachment. Or that is... Oh. Oh, but you can't remove an impeached or you cannot remove an officer. Not an elected one. Not like the Attorney General. Powers of the Senate as a House. Meets as a court of impeachment. House. Per diem mileage for during an impeachment proceeding. Remember, the House is entitled to a per diem. A set allowance for lodging, meal. Is entitled to a per diem when the House is in session for an impeachment proceeding, but not for legislative purposes. Member House committee is entitled to per diem. All right, so when the House is not in session, when conducting an impeachment proceeding, the House and or a House committee may send for persons or papers, compel the giving of testimony, and punish for contempt the same extent as court. Convening House for impeachment. When the House is not in session, it may be convened to conduct an impeachment proceeding by proclamation of a governor, proclamation of the Speaker of the House if the Speaker is petitioned in writing by 50 or more members of the House, or by proclamation in writing signed by the majority of the members of the House. Oh, when House is in session. If the House is conducting an impeachment proceedings at the time session expires or ends by House or Senate adjournment on legislative matters, the House may continue in session to conduct the impeachment proceedings or adjourn at a later time to conclude the impeachment proceedings. The House adjourns under subsection B2. It may continue the impeachment proceedings through the committees or agents. All right, let's look at the 14th Amendment. Text. No state shall make any law that which shall abridge privileges or immunities of citizens, nor shall a state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction. Congress shall have power to enforce by appropriate legislation the provision of the article. Fed sets secure fundamental. Are there any amendments defining fundamental human rights? It's the arguably wording of one law. You know which one. Uh, can't impeach someone for something that happened before they were elected in office. It's elected despite those public allegations by. Alright, so. Prohibition against removal from office. An act the officer commits before the officers. No removals for acts committed before election to office. An officer of the state may not be removed from office for an act the officer may have committed before the. No removal for acts committed before election to office. Wait. removed for acts committed before election to office. Well, I know this. Water is wet. I'm asking for the specific portion of his claim that what was done was illegal or not. Cool. Have a day. It's fucking kidding. No. Okay with it. Okay with an house. Good God, I was just trying to find out what the problem was. God damn. And therefore potential abuses of office primarily. I believe it's 20 different charges. Paxton's 20 impeachment charges. When 5 members of the committee investigation came to light Tuesday, Paxton suggested it was political attack for accusing Speaker of being drunk on the House floor and calling for his resignation. All right, so these articles are I wish I had these where it's not. Article 1, Paxton is accused of failing to act as public protector of charitable organizations by directing his employees and attorney generals to intervene in lawsuit by the Roy F. Joanne Cole harming the Austin charity in an effort to benefit Paul, a wealthy donor. Abuse to the opinion process, Paxton is accused of misusing his official powers to issue written legal opinions. He allegedly had employees bear an opinion that protected some of Paul's properties from being sold in foreclosure, use of open records. Impeachment charges Paxton. Okay, here it is. They're there for your consideration. You've left them on hand. Although the House is supposed to go back into session pretty soon. As a politician, I'm sure he's willing to misstate the law to suit him. I'd accuse Biden, Garrick, or any Democrat. No, Derek Garland. Harris, or any Democrat of this. I just want to be sure if I have the knowledge to back him up. This whole, he's attorney general, blah blah. When the states regulate themselves, the South put into place Jim that denied civil rights to non-whites. Most people who resent the feds have. I'll give you a little spoiler, a little peek under the hood. The feds that protect black people Fuck. Just little things like the FBI killing MLK and whatnot. Don't assert northern policies at the South. God. So you're good? No, I didn't say that. It's just saying it's arguably wording of one. I don't actually. God damn it. Same people sure do gleefully accept those federal dollars and patch them. Fuck them. It doesn't have to be illegal. Unethical is reason enough. No one's even denying he did it. Paxton is. Ah, fucking hell. Still have a problem with like. Oh, great. Like, I just want to know if I should be pissed off by this. Did they say they were gonna go to recess? Thought it was like 15 minutes.
Here's an order. The question of investigating to prepare any further resolution required by the adoption of H.R. 2377. The House of objection chair hears an order.
Guess I'll find a YouTube channel for it. Ken Paxton. Impeached. Just go to YouTube. Paxton impeachment. Alright, so this was a 4-hour process. God damn.
There have been 121 ayes and 23 nays, 2 present not voting, 3 absent. The resolution is adopted. The chair directs the chief clerk to notify the governor of the House's action. The chair directs the Committee on General Investigating to prepare any further resolution required by the adoption of H.R. 2377. The House will stand at ease for 15 minutes.
That was 48 minutes ago. The House is still at ease. All right, Texas Constitution. Quorum. 2/3 of each house shall constitute a quorum to do business, but smaller number may adjourn from day to day, and it's compelled in attendance with absent members. The percentage of each house of legislature necessary to constitute a quorum. God damn it. Grand and petit juries and juries courts. King Cook didn't ask for 3.53 before he was elected. He's a dirtbag. Doesn't serve the office. Cool. I don't know the procedures for impeachment of state officials, but in federal cases, there are usually investigations, hearings to justify this foreign vote. The House voted to impeach Trump in a similar way. The Senate had a hearing with defense Trump. Has vested powers. simply that you present it, investigate. State code. I assume that's what it means. Simply present articles, contemplate, act on articles. Continue session, adjournment. I just found them myself. I appreciate you showing the documents directly. Ye. Rather documents as filed as opposed to a lensed view of them through a right. I think I'm gonna wrap up the show pretty soon. Because I gotta start getting ready for to eat and then work and whatnot. I have to realize I won't start. I got blocked. Nice to know what was said. I think I got blocked. Official duty and unfitness for office. He filed for a lawsuit for Trump to overturn them. Uh, even if there was, I'm not saying true or false. It's a huge problem that we weren't allowed to ask questions to the validity. Oh dear God. Hello everybody who has joined me to watch. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. I'm kind of heading towards the end of my stream today. I have not much time left. And talking to people on Twitter has yielded some very interesting results. I just wanted to know what he thought was illegal. That's all I wanted. Charlie Garen probably voted. Yeah. Oh,
The House will come to order.
Mr. Speaker,
Mr. Doorkeeper,
Mr. Speaker, I have a messenger from the Senate at the door of the House.
admit the messenger.
Mr. Speaker, I'm directed by the Senate to inform the House that the Senate has taken the following action. The Senate has passed the following measures. HCR 114, Vassett, sponsored by Huffman, in memory of Arch Hartwell Applin Jr. HCR 121, Buckley, sponsored by Creighton, instructing the enrolling clerk of the House to make the corrections in House Bill number 1605.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
but wait, what did that mean? What did that mean? So they accepted it? Is that it? So the Senate passed the resolution and asked for a couple corrections? Where in there did I say? Oh, okay, so I guess the session's over. Well, they got nothing else. I really don't know what else was supposed to happen.
Please excuse Mr. Herrera because appointments in the district of the motion and Mr. Martinez Fisher. The objection, chair his and so ordered.
What? What did he say? These guys speak way too fast.
Members, we're about to begin the items eligible list. We're starting with House Bill 1. The chair lays out the following privilege resolution suspending limitations for the conferees for HB 1. The clerk read the resolution.
HR 2339 by Bonin, suspending the limitations on the conference committee jurisdiction for HB 1.
The chair recognizes Dr. Bonin to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. There's an outside of the bounds resolution for House Bill 1, which has been placed on your desk. There were several items, which is very commonplace in the Budget Conference Committee process, for which we went outside of the bounds, and I move adoption.
Will the gentleman yield?
The gentleman yields for
Happy to
questions.
yield for questions.
Chairman Bonin, would you just go through the changes that you're asking us to approve?
Well, I would like to lay out House Bill 1 and talk about what's actually in that. I don't have a delineation of every single change that was made within the budget. And as you can imagine, that would be hundreds of changes.
Thank you.
The question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. This is the record vote. The clerk ring the bell. Chair Dr. Bonin voting aye.
I have no idea what's happening.
Have all members voted? There have been 143 ayes and 0 nays. The resolution is adopted. The chair recognizes Dr. Bonin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I call up the Conference Committee report on House Bill 1.
The chair lays out the conference committee report for HB 1 and recognizes Dr. Bonin to explain the report.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, the Conference Committee report for House Bill 1 makes historic investments that will have a lasting impact on the state of Texas. If there's one thing that I would want you to know up front is that this is, in House Bill 1, the biggest increase in state funding for public education in Texas history. A vote for House Bill 1 is a vote for the biggest increase in state funding and state support for public education in Texas history. A vote against HB 1 is a vote against the biggest increase in state funding for public
Mr. Speaker.
education.
Mr. King, for what purpose?
Would the gentleman yield?
Would the gentleman yield for questions?
I'd like to lay out a few of the items in House Bill 1 before
Not at
taking
this time,
questions.
Mr.
Very good.
Because I was
Yeah,
late.
so-
That's why I'm gay.
So specifically, members, as we get into the details, and I'll be happy to take questions, you should also know a couple of other things. We have several spending limits, and both House Bill 1 and the Supplemental Appropriations Act, which we will take up shortly, are within all of our constitutional and statutory spending limits. In terms of our commitment to public education, there's $17.6 billion, which will be state general revenue that will replace local property tax revenues. This will increase the state's share of funding for public education over 50% and result in approximately $6.9 billion in reduction in recapture. There is $5.2 billion available for funding for public education that is contingent upon passage of school finance and other legislation as it pertains to our public schools. There's $3.2 billion to fund enrollment growth.
Yeah, I was
$2.3
covering
billion
Paxton getting
which
impeached.
pertains to an increase in
And
the
now
golden
they're
penny
talking about
yield. That's new money into our
gay shit.
district budgets. $589 million, which will keep healthcare.
All right, so I'm gonna probably cut that out.
At 10% or more.
All right. Yeah, a 121 to 23 votes. More overwhelmingly yes over no's. I don't know. I don't know if that's nice or not. Well, apparently he Disregard of official duty, protection of charitable organization, disregard of duty, disregard of official duty, abuse of the opinion process, abuse of the opinion of open records, abuse or misuse of official information, engagement of CAMEC, and termination of whistleblowers, misapplication of public resources, whistleblower investigation and report, settlement agreement, or yeah, disregard of duty, settlement agreement, constitutional bribery, Paul's employment of mistress, constitutional bribery, guy named Paul. He's got 20 articles against him. Abuse of public trust, unfitness for office, dereliction of duty, misappropriations of public resources. Basically, just a bunch of stuff. That's what they accuse him of. He's been impeached on all of that, and so they're going to... Now it's up to the Senate to decide whether or not they agree with that or not. I want to see you get sloppy drunk like Nick did last night. Might be worth my first Rumble rant. Dude. Dude. If I have to get drunk for Rumble rant, you better help bring like an assload of viewers. I'm about to wrap up the show anyway. So before I wrap up, got a proper entry by Alien. Wait, what? I can't tell if you're there. Like, fucking. Alright, so before I end the show, I'm going to show off the Dragon's Treasure, a haven for anime and tea lovers. Use code LAYMAN at checkout for 10% off your purchases. You can get everything from tea to coffee to merchandise, and you can even get 10% off your membership whenever you subscribe to the Dragon's Wings. I cannot recommend it highly enough. I was drinking the Dragon's Treasure Magic Girl Venus, which is an orangey tasting herbal tea. It was fantastic, even though it's a couple days old. That's entirely on me. Remember to use code LAYMAN for 10% off your purchases and enjoy the fantastic savings with fantastic tasting tea and now coffee. You can see it's got the brown at the top. Well, if my banner wasn't blocking it. Take care, poopy butthole. You pop in for like 5 seconds and then leave. It's great. Fantastic. But with all that said, remember to like and subscribe on YouTube and on Rumble. Rumble's probably the place I'm going to end up going to the most whenever I can. You can find me on YouTube at Legal Layman, and I have a gaming channel which I use to break up the monotony of this legal crap. Because I realized it's kind of draining and a fucking hole that you can get drained into. But yeah, Legal Layman Gaming on YouTube and on Rumble, Legal Layman. I have a Legal Layman content channel. All of those can be found within the YouTube side. I should add the link tree to the very top of everything. Oh crap. I have doubled up the links. That's unfortunate. I'll fix that later. However, please like and subscribe on YouTube and on Rumble. You can find me on backed.by at or / legal layman. All the links can be found in the description below. You can also find me on Twitter at legal layman with 2 N's and at on locals at legallayman.locals.com. That will conclude the show for today, and I cannot emphasize enough. Thank you for coming to watch the show. Thank you for watching. Thank you for everybody who came to watch it later. Watching on the replay helps still. I will be streaming the Paxton stuff tomorrow. I'll be reading all the charges specifically, and then I will be probably going over quite a bit of the actual video itself, and we'll see how it proceeds after the Senate takes it. With that said, thank you for watching. Hope you guys have a fantastic day, and peace out. Or hang loose. Hang loose.